give you permission to market to them, essentially. So at that point, they're a warm or warm lead. So lukewarm, warm or warm. Yesterday I talked about warm and hot leads. We're not talking about hot leads today, so I wanted to clarify that. So this is someone who's taken an action that suggests that they may be looking for support. So just because they watch a video doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking for a solution. But when they're clicking through a landing page or they're opting into a landing page, then you can kind of guess, they're looking for something. Something more is happening. And the great thing about this lead magnet and putting this in there is now you have two opportunities to market to them. You can continue on the track on Facebook and do a dinner talk invite directly through the Facebook ad platform, but now you also have their email address. And you can start sending one-time emails and automated emails to get them to whatever the call to action is. So on Facebook, in this phase, you're doing very direct invitations to the dinner talk. And in email marketing, you're doing direct invitations to the dinner talk, but you're also doing indirect value in advance. So you're continuing to educate them through email. And so if we remember the metaphor that we used earlier, someone's a cold lead, value in advance content, can I buy you a drink? When you go to a bar and you buy someone a drink, you're offering value in advance. You don't know if you're going to get anything in return. And you got to be okay with that. So second step is, can I get your number? Well, you're not asking for their number, you're asking for their email, but it's essentially the same thing. You're giving them permission to contact you. And you need to have developed a certain level of that relationship in order to ask for that. And then the third is, can I take you to dinner? And literally, you're actually taking them to dinner if it's a dinner talk that you're sending them to. So we're going to start by looking at value in advance content marketing. And this is Facebook video ads or blog posts. Now, we're not going to talk too much about blog posts today. Let me just get a sense of the room. How many of you have blogs on your website? Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about blogs, and I'll talk about how to develop your blogs and optimize it. But for the most part, since most people don't have a blog, I recommend you do Facebook video, and there's a lot of reasons why. Facebook video is native on the ads platform. When they're going to a blog, they're leaving Facebook, and they're choosing to go to an outside website. Facebook video is native when you're not posting it from Vimeo or YouTube, or which you shouldn't do. You should upload it into Facebook because Facebook wants you to use Facebook. It's native in the ad platform, which means it's safe for people to engage with that content. They're just scrolling through their feed, and they're not leaving Facebook to go and do something else. So the likelihood that they'll consume that content is much higher. And so there's going to be a lot higher engagement rates, and Facebook likes it. Facebook wants people to watch videos, so you can spend roughly the same amount of money, and it's going to reach a lot more people because Facebook wants you to be using video.
You have a link?
Huh? Length of video, in this one, and it's in the workbook, I recommend 3 to 5 minutes just to keep it simple. I've seen people do 10-minute trainings. I've seen people do longer, and that's good, but it's getting a little more advanced. The formula that I'm going to teach you is for a 3 to 5 minute video. So let's look at this section, value in advance content, Facebook videos. So very important, use subtitles in your videos. When they're scrolling through their Facebook feed, there's no audio on all of these videos. So in order to engage them right off the bat, you need to have subtitles. If you were to do it on your own, it's going to be a big mess. You're going to have someone transcribe it, and then that transcriber has to turn it into SRT file, and you have to upload the SRT file with the Facebook video and make sure that the timings match and all of this. Don't do that. Use Rev.com. It's $1 a minute. You send them their video. They send you back an SRT file. You upload that to Facebook, and you're golden. So at the end of this talk, I'm going to go through a whole list of resources that'll save you time, money, energy, headaches that you can use in conjunction with any Facebook marketing that you're doing. But Rev.com is one, $1 a minute which is a great deal for subtitles for your videos. So here's the Facebook video ad formula. And we're going to go through and actually create an ad together. The first is the scroll stopper. So what's really important on Facebook ads is it's not YouTube. So they're not going and specifically looking to consume a video. They're scrolling through their feed. They're seeing what their friends are doing. They're seeing what's going on. And you need something that grabs their attention, that stops them from scrolling. And so that's a really important thing, first step. Then you move into the problem. What is the problem that they maybe experience that you can hint at? If they watch this video, they can have that problem solved. The next is looking at what's their desire? What's the big picture of what they envision for their lives? What's their desire? Potentially, what's the solution that goes along with that desire? I want you to position yourself as the guide. And you do this by positioning yourself, communicating some sort of authority, and you also do it by empathizing with them, saying, you're like me. How many of you attended the StoryBrand workshop yesterday? Okay, so this is a similar formula. So if you went through StoryBrand, it's not exactly the same, but it's using a lot of the same components. So you can take what you learned in the StoryBrand formula and apply it to this Facebook video ad formula. So then you have a 1, 2, 3-step plan. And a part of positioning yourself as the guide, positioning yourself as an authority, is that you have a system. So when I started this workshop, I talked about a framework. I said we're going to do Facebook videos, we're going to do lead magnets, then we're going to do email marketing and this. And that's a framework that I'm teaching you today. And that's what we're going to cover in the whole workshop. So you can compartmentalize it in your mind. It's easy to understand because I've simplified it. To execute that, it could take a lot of work, but I've simplified it to the point where you're like, oh, I get that. I understand it. I know what it's like to go to a bar. I understand what it's like to do Facebook ads because we're building a relationship over time. So the 1, 2, 3-step plan is compartmentalizing what it is that you teach in a very easy-to-digest format so that it's easier to consume and they're more likely to engage and think and believe that you can help them. The second, I want you to have one call to action, just one call to action. I don't want you to say, you can call the office, you can click on this link, you can do this, or you can do that. I want you to have one call to action, and it to be very clear and very specific, and there to be a specific benefit associated with that call to action. So we have these juxtaposing things, vision of success versus fear of failure. What if they move forward and they start becoming successful, what does the gold at the end of the rainbow look like? And what does failure look like? What happens if they don't move forward? And then, of course, you just reiterate the call to action at the end. So that's the Facebook video ad formula. Let's talk about each one of these, and we're gonna develop one here. We have a scroll stopper. So this is an action, a gesture, an image, a statement that gets a person to stop scrolling on Facebook. This is very important. Just to give you a few examples of what you can do, movement is very important. So I want you to shoot simple videos. I could give you some more advanced stuff, but something as simple as like doing a gesture with your hands, moving your hands when you start, like moving your body, shifting in the screen, something to grab their attention. When someone's moving their hands, how many of you have seen some of Brendan Burchard's videos? Okay, so some of you have seen Brendan Burchard's videos. Watch him at the beginning of every video that he does. He starts, he's literally like charging, and he introduces himself in this way. Now, you don't have to do that, but just to give you a sense, like he's using his body to like grab your attention and engage you in a specific way. So exciting news and exclusive. So I've got some exciting news. I've got some exclusive. It makes them feel like there's something important that's about to be said. This is grabbing their attention. It's pulling them in. I've never shared this. I've never talked about this before, so this is something new. This is kind of similar to exciting news and exclusive. You can ask a question. Have you ever wondered what it's like to blank? You can ask a question that relates to your pain. This is also using the problem, the specific problem, as the scroll stopper. And what's important with these, the ones that are text-based, you have the subtitles at the bottom. So the subtitles are built into it. And so if it is text-based, you got to make sure that very soon after they start, they're getting that point where, in the first 2-3 seconds, some words pop on the screen that get them to stop scrolling. So there's something that's time sensitive. If you have something that's actually time sensitive, you can do this. Okay. So let me just go back here. And so know that these are not either or. You can do a hands gesture and then talk about a problem. Exciting. You can do multiple of these. And I recommend you do multiple of these when you're recording a video. Huh? Time sensitive. So next Tuesday. Next Tuesday we have this going on, and I didn't get into the. I'm not getting into this. Let's remind me of time sensitive at the end and how we can use that for dinner talks, but it's a more advanced strategy. Okay. So the problem. This agitates the problems by using language that the prospective customer uses when they're complaining about their issue. Now, you as the doctor, you as the health professional, you know all of the technical jargon and all of the details about their problem. And that's going to confuse the hell out of them. So you need to figure out, how do they think about their problem? What do they see as being the issue? When they're frustrated, when they're upset, when they're complaining, what's the language that they use? And that's the language that you want to use in your marketing, because that's speaking directly to them. So an example, and I'm going to walk you through a basic campaign that I halfway built with gluten sensitivity. I didn't make it live. It's not a live campaign, because that would be weird if I didn't have a product that I was selling. So I built this framework around gluten sensitivity. So I know a lot of people with gluten sensitivity, and I know that it can just be tough. They just wish they could eat like a normal person without being afraid of gluten exposure. So this is a problem. You're sort of revealing a problem. They don't, they feel like it's tough. That's an issue that they're feeling inside. They want to be able to eat like a normal person without having any sort of fear. So their desire, big picture vision of a brighter future that's ahead of them, and again, using their language. How do they describe their big picture, which is going to be different than how you describe it. What if you never had to worry about gluten exposure again? Each day you feel energized, eat great food, and if you accidentally eat gluten, it doesn't affect you as much. This is something that they can envision for themselves. This is something that would feel good. So you as the guide, you introduce yourself in a way that shows them that you empathize with their issues and you're an expert on this topic. So how are you like them? So using language like, I understand how hard it can be. Like, I get it. I get you. I understand you. I feel your pain. These sort of things develops that bridge of empathy and that relationship to your audience that will get them to feel like, you're not just this expert person who's cold and removed from everything, but you understand them and you're going to be able to help them. So what makes you an authority? This could be your credentials, your certification, your history. We're working with specific patients. I've worked with hundreds of gluten-sensitive, people with gluten sensitivities, and not all of them are the same. So whatever it is that makes you credible, or whatever it is you think is going to make them credible in their minds, that's going to be something important to frame in the video ad. So 1, 2, 3 step plan. I'm going to give you a very specific 1, 2, 3, a way to use 1, 2, 3 step plans. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this, but I like this for video ads, and I'll explain why. Okay, so the first is instant gratification. That first step, I want you to give them something that they can immediately take action on, that as soon as they watch this video or as they're watching this video, they can take action on it. And at the end of taking that action, they feel a sense of gratification. And what this does, and this is really genius marketing and psychology, what this does is now from watching a 3-minute Facebook video ad, they've now taken an action, and in 5 minutes, you've changed their life. And they'll remember you for that. Like you've changed their quality of life in 5 to 10 minutes by giving them something that they can immediately take action on. So this is important. The second step is a trigger to remember. So the trigger to remember is something, is you give them a trigger that they're going to experience on a regular basis, something that's going to remind them of this action step. And so every time they engage with that action, they're going to think about you, and they're going to think about the advice that you gave them. So you're triggering them to remember the advice that they gave you, at multiple times a day or multiple times in a week. So, and then the third is an action that requires support. So number 1 and number 2 are things that they can do by themselves. They can do it on their own, and they're starting to get value of it. They're starting to see, just a little better quality of life, or they feel some sense of accomplishment. The third one is an action that requires support. So in order to accomplish the third one, it suggests that they're going to need to make a bigger commitment, that they're going to need to take a step further, which is hinting at working with you. So if they've already done steps 1 and 2, 3 is suggesting that they work with you. So this is very important in regards to how you're developing the psychology and how you're communicating with your prospective patients. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few examples. Example 1, right now, I want you to throw out 3 items in your house that you know isn't healthy for you or isn't good for you. That's an action. As soon as they stop your video, they can do it, and they'd be like, wow, I feel good about that. Like, I just got rid of the things that I've been snacking on that doesn't make me feel good. I did something today. It's very simple, but it can give them a sense of accomplishment. And by you having that in a video, you created that. You created that small change that helped them. The second is, every time you go out to eat to a restaurant, when you open the menu, remember that you can make creative choices to eat great foods. So this trigger is specifically for when they go out to eat at a restaurant, which they're doing, several times a week, however long they're going out to eat at a restaurant. And so they open the menu, and maybe if they have a gluten sensitivity, they feel, this sucks. I can't eat all of this great food that I like. But now you're changing their mindset to feel like, oh no, there's actually a lot of really great foods that I can eat, and I can make great choices and still feel good about it. So you're shifting that mindset, but it's a trigger every single time they go to a restaurant. They're thinking about you and the advice that you gave them. The third, and so if you're still overly sensitive, there can be some damage that's done by gluten from past diet choices, which functional medicine can help with, but this is a more involved process. And this can help repair your body in a way that just changing your diet can't do alone. So this is really key, because what you're doing is you're giving them 2 actionable steps, and the third one, you're now training them to remember you and knowing that they can do more than just eat healthy. Like, eating healthy isn't the end of the road for them. It's not just they perfectly clean up their diet and everything's good. There's actually another step that they can take, and you're positioned well to help them with that.
Can you brand the lead magnet with that too?
Yep.
In the past, this lead magnet, R5 guy said steps.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about lead magnets as well. But yeah, you can do something like this with, I recommend, so this 1, 2, 3 step plan, I'm talking about this with video ads. Anytime you give a 1, 2, 3 step plan, you can use this formula. So if you're doing a step-by-step system with a lead magnet, anytime you're doing a training on stage, whatever, you can use this formula. Give them something they can immediately take action on, give them something to remember, give them something that requires your support. And whether it's 3 steps, it's 5 steps, whatever, you can use this formula. So, okay, so I want you to do one call to action. So this one I'm going to recommend, we're going to talk about lead magnets so that they opt into a lead magnet. But if you're not in a position to create lead magnets right now, and I'm going to talk about how to create even more simpler campaigns and how to get started and build up to that, you can position it to go to the dinner talk as well. So you can do direct video ads that push to a dinner talk. So click the link, which is key. You're telling them to do something specific that they know how to do. Click the link. It's not like, join this. How do they join? They have to do what? They have to click the link to join. So click the link to receive the free gluten-free travel guide, and then there's a benefit that comes along with it that will help you eat great food without gluten no matter where you travel. So that's something that they want to do. And I'm going to talk a whole lot about the lead magnet. That's the lead magnet that we're using in the case study today. Sorry? Okay. Okay, so next is vision of success versus fear of failure. You're going to juxtapose a few potential consequences of not taking care of the issue versus specific benefits that they'll experience physically, emotionally, in regards to their quality of day-to-day life. So, okay. So I have three systems right here. So vision of success, and specifically the way you can position the benefits of what you're creating. So if you've ever heard the term in copywriting, features and benefits. The features are the technical terms of what you're offering. I'm offering a gluten-free travel guide. That's a feature. And it suggests a benefit because it suggests that you can travel and eat gluten-free, and maybe it'll be good. But it's a feature. Specific benefits I want you to speak about are physical. How does it change their physiology? So this is a specific benefit that they'll experience physiologically. Emotionally, how do they feel different? Like, what's their emotional quality? What's their emotional state of being? How is it affecting them emotionally? And then their quality of their day-to-day life. How has it changed their day-to-day life? Okay, so a few examples. Physical could be more energy, mental clarity, not feeling a lot of stomach pain. So this is all staying in line with the gluten. Yeah, so
with this guide, you can feel more energy. We've seen our people that have this guide.
So this is a formula. The formula that we're using can be used anywhere. I didn't give more formulas for email. You can use this in email. You can use this in a lead magnet. You can use this in, and I'm talking about the whole formula.
But you're trying this to whatever you're pitching.
Whatever you're pitching, whatever specific, yeah. So this is specifically for whatever the next step is. So you don't want to overpromise, and I'll talk about that a little bit later because you're just sending them to a lead magnet. You don't want to promise the farm because you want them to come to your practice later. So, so emotional, they feel relieved. You can relax. They're not experiencing anxiety as before. Now that the gluten is cleared out of their body and they've taken care of some of that leaky gut. Emotionally, what are some of the emotional qualities that they're feeling that's different from before? Quality of the day-to-day life. So if you think about quality of day-to-day life, from when they wake up in the morning, sit yourself in that customer journey as they're going along, as they're going about their day. How is their daily life improving? What did they get to experience every single day that they haven't experienced before? And when you communicate that clearly, then they get this vision for, wow, like, I can have a better morning just because I clean up my diet a little bit. And that's more powerful than say you may not feel anxiety because it's suggesting that it's going to be every single day they're going to have this benefit. So you wake up each morning with a different level of energy and optimism about your day. So this is communicating this. And I wouldn't say necessarily these three visions of success is not necessarily for the lead magnet. This is just general gluten things. So I don't. Some of this may be overpromising based on what the lead magnet delivers. So I want to be clear about that. So fear of failure. Two fears of failure. They're either stuck in the status quo, everything is going to remain the same, and there's an inherent human drive towards growth. People want to know that they're growing. People want to know that they're constantly improving, that things are changing, and that their life is getting better. So this idea of being stuck in the status quo is not fun. The second is that things get worse, and this is more getting into fear. Things could get worse. So fear of failure, if I'm stuck in the status quo, you remain frustrated every time you go out to eat. You know, remaining frustrated every single time you go out to eat. You're looking at the menu and it sucks and you feel like you can't eat anything, whatever. If things get worse, you can end up discovering that the gluten exposure over time could cause more serious issues. Now, I want you to be careful, specifically with Facebook, about using fear. Facebook compliance, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Facebook compliance later in a less complicated way. Specifically with health issues, they don't want marketing that's like super fear-based, like, you know, that you're spelling out doom and disaster on Facebook. So this is very general fear language. You could discover that gluten exposure over time could cause more serious issues. It's very general. It's not saying that they're going to lose their leg, you know, or right. So here's some ad copy. So you could see right there, I have this section that says video is here. And that's where the video would go in the ad copy. And these links right here, you see I'm not sending to a website, I'm sending to a bit.ly link. And there's specific reasons why you send to a bit.ly link. So I send to a bit.ly link because if they think I'm going to a website, like your website, then I'm leaving Facebook and doing something on Facebook. But a bit.ly link is kind of like you're masking whatever website you're sending it to. So they're not making a decision about, do I want to click on this based on the title of your website or what your website URL is. So a bit.ly link generally has a higher click-through rate. So the ad copy example is you want to grab their attention, just like we did before, at the top. Gluten alert. All caps, in brackets, you're grabbing their attention. These are my top 3 tips. You're positioning yourself as an authority that I give anyone who is worried about getting side effects from gluten exposure. This guide is for you if you want to eat smarter when you travel. Click here. That's a call to action. Points to the link. I want to show you what I teach my patients. So you're positioning yourself as a doctor. I want to show you what I teach my patients. They know that you're a doctor. Video is here, and then right there it says top 3 tips to reduce gluten exposure. There's, at the bottom of video ads, there's a title, and the one that's in bold is the title of the video ad. Learn how to reduce gluten exposure even while on the road. So there's not a lot of copy here because they're watching a video. You know, you want them to focus on the video. The copy around it is just support for that video. So I actually swiped this copy from a guy who teaches about, well, let me show you this first. So what type of ad to use? This is a screenshot that I took from the video, the Facebook ads platform. So you have all these different types of things to do. This is specifically video views. So it's optimizing for video views. And so Facebook is going to say, okay, the objective that you want to accomplish through this campaign is you want a lot of people to watch this video, and that's what Facebook is going to do for you. So this is where I swiped this sort of URL, this ad copy from. So you could see what he's doing here. Video ads alert. This is the same strategy I used to 10x my business. Da, 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 da. There's the bit.ly link. I show you how I did it. And then there's him with the video speaking directly to the camera. And then new video ads training at the bottom. Learn more. So all of these links are going to a lead magnet. The bit.ly link and the learn more link below, that's all heading to the lead magnet. So it's going to the next step, which is the lead magnet. OK. So we are going to take, there's a lot of content that I just walked over, and I'm actually going to be walking around. Question, quick question.
What is that called, a bit.ly?
Bit.ly link. So bit.ly.com, I actually didn't include that in the resources. Bit.ly.com, you can write, and you could just go on Bit.ly and then enter in a link, and then bitly.com. No, bitly. No 2 L's. bitly.com. There is bitly. If you go to bit.ly, it's the same. It's the same. So we're going to take 15 minutes to develop your own video ad script. And in this workbook, you have a specific sheet to fill out. And whatever it is that your topic, whatever it is that you're speaking about, we're going to take that time right now to work this out. Because I want you to, I don't want this to be a thing where I'm, this workshop to be something where I'm talking at you the whole time and then you walk out and be like, I have 100 ideas that I can't implement. You're going to have stuff that you can take home and start putting to action right away. So the next 15 minutes, you're going to develop, walk through the whole script, which is in this thing, all the different points of the script, and you're also going to be able to develop the ad. And I'm going to walk around. Feel free to raise your hands, ask questions. Raise your hand if you have a question that is pertinent to the group.
You might have covered this either yesterday or today, but those videos, this young man, was he talking into his iPhone or the computer was videotaping?
He was talking into his iPhone. His iPhone was positioned right here.
That's what we would do.
Yeah. Yeah. And remind me at the end, I'll talk a little bit more about recording and getting all of that set up. But okay, let's start. There were a few questions that were relevant that I'm just, as we're working, I'm going to bring up a few questions that were relevant. One of the questions was you speaking in the second person versus speaking in the third person. On video, you can get away with speaking in the second person, speaking directly to the person a little bit more. On other ads, they want you to not talk about the person, but talk about whatever your business is and give examples. So in written ads, you're going to speak about the third person. In video, it's touching the line, and you may get a little bit of kickback, but you can start using you a little bit more. But it's something that you should test out to see if it works. And then the second thing was, I'm going to talk a bit more about Facebook compliance later, and specifically regards to health. But in general, you don't want to name diseases. So Facebook knows all the diabetics who are on Facebook. Like, it's got such an advanced algorithm, it can tell, it can pull up a list of these are the people who are diabetics. They don't want their ad platform to become to Facebook to become this place where I'm getting constant reminders. If I'm a user, I'm getting constant reminders that I have diabetes, which is a little invasive and it's kind of aggressive. So speaking a little more broad about the symptoms around whatever, or the feelings that they have, the broad symptoms that they have around it. I use gluten as an example because it's talking about the trigger as opposed to celiac disease. Although I haven't run these through to get tested, I could maybe edit these ads a little bit later. But I just want to give you that in some context. Using specific names of diseases could get you some kickback, and they could say, no, you can't advertise in this way. So we're back. We're going to be taking a few more breaks for different sections, and when we get into the lead magnet and some other sections. Okay. Just go on. So lead magnets. So moving on to lead magnets. So if everyone's attention could be in the room, back up here. Lead magnet is something in value in exchange for permission to market to them. You've all been on opt-in pages before. Most of you have opt-in pages set up. When they go into an opt-in page and you enter in your email, you know that you're not just getting whatever it is that they're offering on the page. You know that you're going to get other emails, and you're going to be someone's going to be marketing you, try to sell you something. So most consumers are savvy. They know that you're not just sending the PDF. They know that you're marketing to them. So this is this phase, and there's, I saw this one blog post that was like 68 different lead magnet ideas, and I don't want to give you 6 ideas. I want to give you 3 that are actionable and that you can take and put to practice in your practice. So one is a 1 to 3 page cheat sheet. A 1 to 3 page cheat sheet. Oh, hold on one second. I think I have that. Yeah. Okay. So I'll talk about that in a minute. A lead magnet is a shortcut. So what you're doing with the lead magnet is you're suggesting, by consuming this is going to be a shortcut. Whatever your goal is, I'm going to help you achieve it faster. I'm going to help you achieve it faster. It should communicate a high level of value, and I'm going to save you either time, money, or headaches. So you're relieving some sort of, maybe not physical pain, maybe it is physical pain, but psychic pain. You know, it's like, this makes your life a little bit better. And so talk about the type of lead magnets that you can offer. A 1 to 3 page cheat sheet. So you've probably seen a lot of people offering ebooks. I've subscribed to a lot of lead magnets that are ebooks, and I've never read one of them. So if someone subscribes to your lead magnet that's an ebook, that's a 20, 30, 50 page something, and they don't get value from it, then you've lost an opportunity to position yourself as an expert and authority in their mind. And so those companies that I've downloaded their ebooks, I've never spent $1 on them because there's other people who brought me value and much faster. I didn't need to commit 50 pages. So a 1 to 3 page cheat sheet, whatever you're doing, you're simplifying in 1 to 3 pages. And if you're going to go as far as 3 pages, I want you to use images, and I want you to communicate more with images than you do with just the words. So a resource list. So, if for example, the gluten-free resource list is a checklist of all of the hidden gluten ingredients that you'll find on, the shelf of the supermarket. So they can have a checklist. This is a resource list. Whenever they go shopping, they can look through it when they're looking at products and be like, okay, that has gluten in it, that has gluten in it, that has gluten in it, that has gluten in it. And it's something that saves them time, money, or headaches. They're not going to be concerned about, oh my God, does this have gluten in it? Am I going to have a reaction to this? They're not going to have that concern. Next is a video training. So if you like doing video, you're good on video, you want to keep doing more video, you can offer a more in-depth video training. So if they already watched a 3 to 5 minute video, you can go a little more in depth to watch, a 10-minute video, 15-minute video, however long you want to go with them a little more in depth without giving away the farm. You're not sending them on to a 1.5 hour training, So the point of a good lead magnet is they should be able to consume it relatively quick. Lead magnets that people are able to consume in 5 minutes are great because you can learn something in a relatively short amount of time. You're not asking them to make a huge commitment. You're offering high value, relatively high impact with a low level of commitment, which is where they're at this phase of the relationship. They just watched a short video of you, and after watching that 3-minute video, I don't want to read your 50-page ebook. Like, I'm very busy. I don't have time for your ebook. So you want something that's pretty quick and easy to consume as a lead magnet. Okay, so we're going to walk through the lead magnet ad campaign, and so I didn't communicate this before. You have your worksheet, and we're going to take a break to fill in the lines of what you would write. So if you want to write notes around that so you have those lines to write your own copy in there, that's fine. But the title should be short and punchy. It should let them know what it is, and it suggests that it's going to save them time, money, or headaches, or whatever. So the word that suggests that it's going to save them time is something like guide, checklist, case study, swipe file, Cliff's Notes. Those are words that suggest brevity. It suggests that I'm going to get something quick. Gluten-free travel guide. I know what it is, relatively what the value is, and that it's relatively brief. And I did that in 4 words. You're able to communicate that in a short and punchy title. So the subtitle, now this is a formula, and I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to show an example, and there's one in there, an image of the lead magnet, but I'm also going to show it on the screen, of how this formula is used. Subtitle formula, it describes what it is, how it'll benefit their life, and what frustrating thing they're going to avoid by taking action. So the call to action, this should be authoritative. It should tell them to do something. It should be short and easy to understand. So buy now, call today, register now, watch video, download the guide. These are all authoritative. You're telling them to do something. So you've maybe been to websites that are more creative and they have calls to actions like experience joy, And it says that on the button. It's like, am I really going to experience joy by doing this? Do I know what that call to action is? Do I know what value I'm going to get? Buy now is specific. I'm going to spend money. Call today is specific. I'm going to make a phone call. Register now. I'm going to get registered for something. So these are all very clean. They communicate what they're supposed to, and it's authoritative. You're telling them to do something. Images. If you're giving away a report, PDF guide, or something like that, image of a book, it communicates value. So there's an ad in there that shows the image of the book. It's on the screen. The ad image is not in the workbook. For background images, it should be something that represents success. Huh? You can use a video behind the lead magnet. It's a little more advanced. You can and I'm going to share with you. I'll show you the lead magnet that I built in a minute. I use a service called Lead Pages, which is listed in the resource section in the back of your workbook. And Lead Pages lets you. The landing page that I built took me less than 10 minutes. I uploaded the images, I edited the copy, I launched it. 10 minutes. I built a landing page. So the Facebook ad for the lead magnet, the ad formula here is a question that moves someone towards pleasure. You're asking them a question that some questions are asking them if they want to stay away from pain. Some of them are moving towards pleasure. This one's moving them towards pleasure. Empathy language. So again, you're communicating that you understand their pain, you understand who they are, what their challenges are, what they're facing in their life. We're repeating a lot of things here, which I think is important because you learned a formula that can be used in a lot of different places. And now I'm showing you different ways to use pieces of that formula. Authority positioning. What can you claim that positions you as a credible expert while you're inviting them to, with your authority, to opt in for your lead magnet? Take the next step. And then call action, click here to blank, which we've already discussed. The headline, communicate what it is and the main benefit that they'll receive from taking action. So this is long, but I'm just going to read through this. Want to know how to eat the most amazing foods anywhere in the world without having the negative side effects that come from gluten exposure. So this is moving towards pleasure. An arrow to the bit.ly link, which leads to the lead magnet. Let's be real. So let's be real is like you're conversational with them. You're empathetic. It's like you're sitting at a bar or you're sitting with them. It's like, let's be real. It can be hard cleaning up your diet. I understand you. I understand your pain. Look at all the foods you have to eliminate when you quit gluten. You look at the menu and nothing looks exciting. Heck, you could even do your best and still suffer from accidental exposure. So I understand you. I understand your pain. I know what it's like to be in your shoes. That's what you're communicating. Well, not anymore. I'm your local doctor in Encinitas, California. That's where I live. And so you're now introducing yourself in this lead magnet. You're saying, I live where you are. I'm local. You've already seen my video ad. Now you know that I'm close to where you are. I'm your local doctor in Encinitas, California, who's helping people with gluten sensitivities live happy, healthy lifestyles. I not only teach how to reduce exposure to gluten, I offer custom protocols to help people recover from a lifetime of less healthy eating. Today, I want to give you my free gluten-free travel guide. So this is all authority. They're not going to take action on you being that expert doctor. You're just building credibility and authority so that you can pitch that gluten-free travel guide, which gets them into your email, and you have the ability to develop that relationship further. So you can enjoy the pleasures of eating great foods while you're on the road. So click here to download your free guide. Here's the link to the bit.ly. And that's where the image is. So image is there, and I'll show you the image in a moment. And then here's the title, the gluten-free travel guide. So you're telling them what it is, how to travel and eat delicious food while minimizing gluten exposure. Free PDF download. So you're telling them exactly what they're getting. You're getting a PDF. Click here to download the guide. So this is the lead magnet ad image. So you see I have that image of a book, which is the gluten-free travel guide. And at the end, I'm going to tell you where I got the nice photography from. The back, it communicates success, right? That background image, someone's on a mountain, they're traveling, they're moving. This is nice. I want to live that life. I want to eat that kind of food that's delivered on the book, and I want to be on that mountaintop with that backpack. It's a nice backpack. How to travel and enjoy delicious foods without worrying about gluten. Free PDF download. That's the image that is placed right there in the ad. So can anyone guess how much it cost me to get this ad? Huh? It was $15. $15 to get this image created. Like the book, all of it. I made the copy and I told them to use the specific image of the food, but this was $15 and I'll show you where I did that later. So this is the lead magnet. This is the lead magnet landing page. And I could have used the landing page that had the book also on the landing page. I chose not to do that. I just developed this one really quick. PDF, it tells them what it is. Gluten-free travel guide, so that's the title formula. The 3-page travel guide to help you reduce gluten exposure anywhere in the world without having to eat boring food. Okay, so this is the subtitle formula that I was telling you about. What is it? It's a 3-page travel guide. What is it going to do? It's going to help me reduce gluten exposure anywhere in the world. And what's the frustrating thing that I won't have to experience? Oh, well, yes, I won't have to eat boring food. So that's frustrating. If I have to eat boring food, I'm frustrated about that. So this is what it is. This is what it can do without this thing that you don't want. And then the authoritative thing at the bottom, it says download the guide. And this landing page took me, aside from like searching for the image and all of that, this landing page took me 10 minutes to set up. Huh? So this is the ad. When you click through the bit.ly link, this is the page that they go to. So this is the actual landing page. And then when they press that button, a pop-up comes up that says, here's your name and email. And they enter in their name and email, and then they get added to whatever autoresponder sequence that delivers the lead magnet, and you start marketing to them. So the type of ad to use in the Facebook ad platform is conversions. And I'm not going to talk about some of the technical stuff, pixeling. I have a resource to make it very easy to do that I'll share at the end. But conversions, so you're tracking, you want Facebook to optimize for conversions. So there is when they go to that page, you want them to convert to the next page, which is you want them to give them that email address. And so Facebook is going to design that ad, and it's very specific ways that they do it, so that will optimize not for just people seeing it or liking it or whatever. They're going to optimize for people to take the action, go to the page, and then click through to the other side. Quick question.
So this ad before you put the design, the video ad makes you click to this ad, or you're talking about?
The video ad's also going to get you to click to this ad, but the video ad offers value in advance without requiring them to click through. So the lead magnet, they're not getting the guide unless they give me their email address. There's a wall right there. There's a barrier. And because I've already built up that relationship through the video ads, the likelihood that they will consume this lead magnet it's a higher likely chance that they will consume and start to give me their email address. Yes, the video ad goes to this landing page. It's the same bit.ly link in the lead magnet ad and the video ad. They both go to this page, and they're both collecting emails. There's one of the companies that I follow, one of the marketing companies that I follow, they run hundreds of split tests on Facebook. And they've done split tests where they'll send an audience just to the lead magnet page, and another split test where they'll send an audience to a video or some sort of content, and then eventually to the lead magnet after they watch the video. So the overall price that they pay per lead, and we're getting technical, per email that they get is the same amount as if they send them to the content and then this, even though they're doing 2 ads in that instance, as it is they do if they just send it to the landing page. So they're paying the same amount for you to see 2 pieces of content because you're warming them up, and there's less of a barrier to entry at the landing page than if you're just to do the lead magnet by itself. And those who go through the content, then the lead magnet, have a higher likelihood of buying. So they're making more money by starting them off, sending them through content. So that's getting a little more technical, but just to give you an idea how this system works of developing that relationship. So please write down your questions. I think I want to make sure we have enough time for everything that we want to get done today. So type of ad you use in conversions. So custom audiences. Now, if you're just you broadly broadcast this out, this is getting a little more advanced with the Facebook ads platform. But some of the things that you can do, some of the custom audiences you create, for the video, you're sending it out to the broad community. The people are in your area, and you can get specific with, like, if you've determined a way to isolate specific demographics or that they like certain pages, so you'll know they'll be more likely to consume your content. So you're sending out to everyone. The lead magnet, you can start sending it out to everyone, and I'm not going to say don't do that because, but specific ones that you'll target to get increased amount of likelihood are more of the warmer traffic. So the ones who've already watched your video, so you could see engagement on Facebook at the bottom, which is you can click through and it says video views. Click to blog, which is website traffic. Website visitors, which is also website traffic. And then Facebook followers, which is engagement on Facebook. So those are some more advanced custom audiences that you can do with this. But if that's too much and your head is starting to do like this, just throw it out the window and, do what you know. So I want to talk about ad congruency. So this is something that's important. So you can see the one at the bottom right is the last ad that I do. You see that the images, the fonts, the wording, the style is all the same. So as you're developing this relationship, they're clicking on an ad and leaving the Facebook ad platform, and the page that they're landing on has the same image. So it's like they're in the same experience. And you're not, promising one thing, and then they get something that has bright pink, and, it's weird, and you said you were going to do this, but now you're doing this. It's confusing. So this is ad congruence. You're creating an experience that allows them to relax, and it helps with the trust factor. They trust you because you've created that same experience for them. Okay, so let's spend 5 minutes on developing lead magnet, landing page, and ad copy in your workbook. And I'm going to go around. People have questions. I'm going to hit some people I didn't talk to the first time. If you have questions, just raise your hand. I'll come and chat with you. So coming back, so I had a few conversations with people who were confused about the lead magnet versus the video ad, and why is the video ad going to lead magnet and all of this. So let me, before I explain email marketing, I'm going to just talk about this a little bit. So here you're getting introduced to them on Facebook in the video and advanced content. They don't know who you are. It's a video. You want a call to action in that video. The purpose of the video is to deliver value, but you don't want to just let those leads wander off on Facebook. You want to give them something that they'll do. A lot of them aren't going to take the call to action because it's indirect. This is an indirect call to action. You're just delivering content, and hey, if you're interested to know more, I have this gluten-free travel guide. So you are offering the lead magnet there, which was the bit.ly link. Oops. So this is already directing them to get the lead magnet so you have their email. But it's a soft call to action. This lead magnet is an ad that's specifically designed to get them to consume the lead magnet. And unlike the video ad, they could watch the video, get value, and do nothing else and never talk to you again and learn something. This lead magnet, in order for them to get the value from the lead magnet, they have to take an action and give you their email address. So it's a different level of commitment. It's a different level of engagement. And so does that help a little bit? Because I talked to a few people who were confused. I wanted to clarify that a little bit. Go ahead.
So if I'm on Facebook
It's a static ad. It's a static image ad. Where is it? This is what the image looks like. So you would see the image pop up right there, and that's the copy around the image. So it looks, and I'll show you a little bit later, one that's put together. Okay, so we're running a little low on time, so I'm going to blaze through and talk about email marketing, but the email marketing stuff is pretty simple. So email marketing, you're doing direct invitations. So now you have their email address. They've consumed the lead magnet. They've said, they've raised their hand. They said, I want your solution. I'm a person who has a specific problem that you were talking about, and I want your solution. So within the email marketing, you have two ways you communicate to them. If you're running dinner talks, and this is specifically, the rest of this I'm going to talk about how to do the email and the ads in relationship to the dinner talks. If you're running dinner talks, you're going to have some that are direct invitations. Hey, we have this event on June 28th. This is the benefits of that event. I want you to come to this event. Very specific. But you can also do something that's indirect value in advance. And the same formula that you used for the value in advance content, you can do that via email. You can write an email using that same formula, roughly, to develop that email. But the call to action at the end is to come to a dinner talk, which will go to a page that's on your website that has that event set up. So most of you are using email marketing. You know that you can segment your list. Not everyone on your email list is getting the same exact emails. So if you're not already doing this, I want you to do, at the minimum, this very basic segmenting. There are people who've attended a dinner talk, which includes your clients, and those who have not attended your dinner talk. So I want you to take a list of people who have not attended your dinner talk, and that's a separate group that you're going to email just them. And so the rest of the email marketing instructions has nothing to do with what you communicate to your clients or those who've attended. This is only for those who have not attended a dinner talk. So you have automated emails. This is a sequence of emails that are triggered when the contact takes a certain action. It could be they opt in, they click through something, they open something, they're added to a list. And so to be clear, I'm calling these automated emails. In Infusionsoft, this is called a campaign. And in MailChimp, it's called automation. So there's no uniform way of calling different types of emails, different things. Every email provider uses different language. But for the sake of this talk, we're saying automated email. So in your automated email sequence, you should have the lead magnet delivery. So they get that email. I'm going to show you a chart of this later, a calendar, and it's in your thing. So you deliver the lead magnet. Hey, here's the ebook, and here's a great email that's like the perfect welcome to the practice. And you can use the same formula that you used to create the video. And then the second thing is you can do follow-up emails that are scheduled to offer more value in advance. So you can continue doing value in advance, continue educating them. So the one-time emails, this is an email that's sent out at a specific time and date to specific contacts. In Infusionsoft, a one-time email is called a broadcast, and in MailChimp, a one-time email is called a campaign, which is confusing because there are two different things in MailChimp and Infusionsoft. So right now we're calling them a one-time email. You choose a time and date and a group of people and you send it. That's a one-time email. Oops, that should say one-time email. Send out as a one-time email, direct invitation emails to the dinner talk. Now, you have them scheduled on specific time and dates, so these should be one-time emails because you know that there's a date coming up and you know you want to send a certain amount of emails for that specific dinner talk. Okay. So say someone joins a list on Thursday, June 1st. They're going to get an automated email that's a lead magnet plus a perfect welcome. So if you want to do some things, some education on email and create a nurture sequence that continues delivering value, just like you did with the video, you're continuing to develop that relationship. You could say every Tuesday, I'm going to have an automated email that goes out that delivers a little bit of something that helps them on their health journey. Like, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be a full blog post. a couple of paragraphs that is inspiring, that is educational, whatever. So you have 4 automated emails that are on different topics, introducing yourself, talking about leaky gut, whatever. So now you also have a couple dinner talk events. You have one on the 14th, and you have one on the 27th. So these 4 automated emails, they have a soft call to action at the end that's like, hey, go to this page, you can find out when a dinner talk is. But it's automated, so it's not telling them specific times and dates. It's a general call to action. So what you have is, for each dinner talk, you may send out 2 or 3 emails that are one-time emails that are specific for that dinner talk. Hey, we have this event on January 28th. This is a direct email. This is the benefit of this event. This is why you should be there. In order to RSVP, you've got to call the office. You've got to click on this link. You've got to register. This is very direct. So you could just do direct emails, one-time emails, and just do the dinner talk stuff if it's too much to set up. But then you're just promoting and promoting and promoting and promoting. So the point of doing the automated emails with it is to continue delivering value, continue positioning yourself as an expert. You're continuing to help them without them having to make any decisions. And then over time, they're like, wow, I really learned a lot just from being on this mailing list. Like, this person is delivering a lot of value. They're in my local community. I should go to this talk. So this is an opportunity to do that. Okay. So we're going to skip the email marketing exercise, but the email marketing exercise that I suggest you do when you get home is to write out 10 ideas for things you can add to that nurture sequence, like 10 things that you can educate them on in a couple paragraphs that'll help them. You can add to the autoresponder. You have a soft call to action at the end to come to a dinner talk, and it goes to your website where you host all of your dinner talk information. Okay, so now we go into the ad part of the dinner talk invitation. So this is a direct invitation that you're doing on Facebook for the dinner talk. So most of you who are running dinner talks or advertising on Facebook are doing this already. So I'm just going to talk to you maybe how to improve that campaign a little bit. So something to keep in mind, because you did this lead magnet, because you set them up, now you have a warmer audience that's coming in, and they're being communicated in 2 different ways about your dinner talk. So you've already developed the relationship. They already gotten to know you. They've raised their hand. They said, you have a solution that I want. They're on your mailing list. And now they're seeing ads about the dinner talks on Facebook, and they're getting email marketing from you. So they're getting invitations on email. So this is really powerful because now you're hitting them at multiple angles, and there's more opportunities to connect. So this is, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of this. Hey, Encinitas, California. So now I'm being very direct. I'm local. We are going to a local event. I'm a person. I'm speaking to you as a person, and it's saying you and yours. So some of it may be have issues with the Facebook compliance, but if you need to switch it to third person, that's fine. But hey, Encinitas, California, I'm Dr. Catherine, MD, founder of Mint Health, and you're a local functional medicine doctor and gluten expert. So you're positioning yourself as an expert. You're saying, I live in your local zip code. I'm this person that's right here. You're introducing yourself. On June 28th at 7:30 p.m., they know that there's an event. I'm hosting an informal conversation over dinner called How to Overcome Gluten Sensitivities to Live a Happy and Healthy Life. I'd like you to join us. Bit.ly link. So the rest of this ad is in your workbook. And you can, I didn't break this one down because it contains a lot of the same components that we learned in the ads before, so you can just read it. And now you can start going through and saying, oh, this is empathy. I see that. I recognize that. Here I'm asking a question that moves them towards pleasure or pain. Okay, I see this is the part where you're positioning authority. So you can kind of start reverse engineering the ad a little bit and saying, I see what you're doing there. I understand this. I learned this already. And you can use this copy as an example to do it. So I have in brackets here, note, if you're married, you're welcome to invite your spouse to the event. We find that it's easier to take action on new health information when both partners are on the same page. So likely they're not going to invite their spouse to the event just from reading that. Maybe they will. But you're seeding the idea. You're letting them know, hey, and then when you have that conversation with them on the phone, They remember it. It's the second time they heard it. You know. Okay. Okay, so this is what the ad looks like. And there's a couple ways to do event ads on Facebook. This is the one where I created an event on Facebook. I hosted that event through Eventbrite. And then I wrote some copy, and then here's the ad image. So remember ad congruency. These people have seen me a couple times. They're recognizing this. I wouldn't use the exact same image. I would use one similar. But in this one, it's the exact same image. And right here, you can't see it. It says Encinitas join us. This should be a little bit bigger, but it should call out to them. Like, hey, we're local. This is happening. You know, join Encinitas June 28th. Like, it's calling out to them, getting their attention. They know it's local. They know when it is, and it grabs their attention. That's what stops them from scrolling. So this type of ad, I want you to use the traffic one. I want you to just send traffic there. Option one, you send traffic. So I uploaded it manually through the Facebook Ads event platform. This is one option to do it if you're hosting it on your own platform or something else. What I recommend you do is option two, boost the Facebook event with Eventbrite. So what you're going to do here is you create an Eventbrite page for your dinner talk. And then you put that as the link that you created a Facebook event as well for your dinner talk, same information, but the register link goes to the Eventbrite page. And this is the cool thing about doing it through Eventbrite rather than on your own website. Now with events that you do a Facebook event on Facebook and you link it to Eventbrite, now when you click register, they don't have to go to Eventbrite to register. They don't have to leave the Facebook ads platform. So they can register for your event without leaving the Facebook ads platform and start getting the automation through Eventbrite. So that's a cool new feature and why I'm recommending to do this now, because it's a much more streamlined user experience. They don't have to leave the website, and they're more likely to take that action for that event. So this is what the event page looks like. This is you're targeting people. Okay. Someone said go back? Okay. Sorry? So if they've registered for Eventbrite, it's going to sign up through Eventbrite. It's not going to connect. So you're going to have to export that from Eventbrite to put your email in there. Fortunately for the event itself, there's autoresponder sequences that you can use in Eventbrite. And you just got to remember at the time they show up for each event, those who show, every time you have an event, you got to export that and start and add them to your own email marketing manually, or upload them to your own email marketing. So that's going to be an extra step when you're using through Eventbrite. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. So a little bit of Facebook compliance. I talked about this a little bit earlier. So no before and after. You cannot use images of like, this is the crappy thing before, and this is the great experience afterwards. It's considered schemy marketing. Facebook doesn't want it on their ad platform. They'll kick you off. No before and after. No unrealistic positive or negative results. So you want to be honest and you want to be realistic about, if you're offering a lead magnet, you don't want to promise the farm. You want to be realistic about it, and you also don't want to say they're going to lose their leg, because Facebook doesn't want advertisers scaring people. And then we talked about targeting based on disease. Do you have diabetes? Facebook doesn't want that. They don't want, Facebook knows who has diabetes. They know who has certain health issues because of their algorithm. And they don't want people using the app platform to be overwhelmed with invasive, feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to go on Facebook because I'm reminded of the fact that I have this health issue every time I go on Facebook. So Facebook doesn't want that. So quickly, resources, done for you Facebook marketing. So this is important, and this is really important, all of these resources. This is done for you stuff. This is rev.com, $1 a minute to get subtitles. You get a CRT file. All of the resources are in the back of your book, so you don't even have to take pictures because you can just go to these websites, make notes. $1 per minute, 24-hour turnaround, awesome. Done for you, Fiverr.com. I had these ad images, all the ad images that you saw, I had them developed via Fiverr. And I paid someone, I could have paid them $5, but I chose to get nicer quality images, so I paid $15 per ad image. And these are people who know the 20% rules on Facebook, and they know all the things, and they develop Facebook ads all the time, so you don't have to figure it out yourself. And there's other things you can do, Facebook ad, banners, campaigns, code, copy. So it's not just ads you can create. There's other sort of management things. The asterisk I'll leave is like, you can spend a lot of money on Fiverr. It's not just $5. So test something out first if you have a problem, and then scale. So here's some DIY Facebook marketing, and I use some of these. Canva.com if you want to create your own images. You can create ads with this. You can create your own images. You can create banners. Canva.com. They have a great variety of tools. This is Unsplash. The beautiful image that I got of the food was something I downloaded off Unsplash. So this is stock photos, but this is a website that is run by photographers. And it's very, very high quality photos that you won't find if you subscribe to a typical stock photo thing that has cheesy photos. So it's really nice, beautiful photography that if you know something specific, you can find things that you like. Second thing is hire a photographer. This is a friend of mine, Sarah DiFrancesco. This is her on the left, and that's one of her patients on the right. She hired a photographer to come in and do all the photos for her website. And this is nice. This is positioning yourself as the expert. There's a happy patient in that photo. It doesn't look like stock photography, and it's really, really nice. And all you need to do is find a good photographer in your community, hire them for a day, and they can create all the photos for your websites and your ads and everything like that. Resources to learn Facebook marketing. So I'm a big fan of YouTube. If you're stuck on something, go on YouTube and type in what you're stuck on. People were asking about pixels earlier and how to use pixels. Facebook pixel tutorial. You search that, and in a couple-minute video, they'll show you how to do it. And if you can't figure out on yourself, you go on Fiverr and you get someone to do it for you. So I don't want you to be stuck with like the tech stuff and all of this. I want you to either be able to quickly get an answer, do it yourself, or hire someone to do it. Don't let that let you down. If you want to go a little more in depth, there are expensive Facebook marketing courses that you can buy, but you can also go on Udemy and buy some $10 courses that have pretty reputable people teaching them. And I don't recommend you do 20 hours of a Facebook marketing course, but you can go in and look through the things and be like, what do I want to learn this week, or what's the problem that I'm facing? What do I want to improve? And you go through a course and open up a few videos. So resources, technologies outside of Facebook. This is Lead Pages. I built my landing page with this. I use Lead Pages all the time. Some of Freedom Practice Coaching's landing pages are hosted on my Lead Pages. So they create drag and drop templates. It can take you a few hours to set up bigger event pages, or 10, 15 minutes to set up an opt-in page. So email marketing, if you don't have an email marketing provider, if you want more advanced, ActiveCampaign is what I recommend. If you want simple, easy, get it done, GetResponse is what I recommend. But if you're already on an email marketing platform, I don't recommend you switch unless it's a super big headache. But if you're just getting started, these are the two I recommend. And then I talked about Eventbrite. Eventbrite is not just going to work as something to connect to Facebook and create a good user experience, but people also look for events through Eventbrite. So you may get some people finding you through the Eventbrite platform that are coming to your event based off of that. So how to simplify this campaign, just really quickly, because I don't want you to feel like you have to do all of this. I want you to think about this and compartmentalize it. So If you just start doing some Facebook video ads in addition to promoting your dinner talks, that's better. Like, that's better than what you're doing now. If you create a lead magnet page and you have an opt-in and you don't have time to build in all the autoresponder emails and you just send direct emails that go to the dinner talk, that's fine. Like, the important thing is that you get started and that you get rolling with it. So think about this as being a formula that you understand that you can start building in one piece at a time and developing over time. And then when you want to expand the campaign, say you have all of this in place, then you can create more videos. You can do more videos, you can send to your blog posts, you can add a second lead magnet. There's more that you can do to expand this campaign once you have the basics in place. So in the back of your workbook, we don't have time for it because my time's up, and I apologize for Pamela to going over. In the back of your workbook, there's a section that says, what are you going to implement in the next 7 days, what are you going to implement in the next month, and what are you going to implement in the next quarter. So before you leave here this weekend, we don't have time to do it right now, I want you all to fill that out, because it doesn't matter if you sat in a cool 2-hour Facebook marketing workshop and nothing happens after this. What matters is how this is going to change your business and how it's going to make an impact. So before you leave this weekend, I want you to fill that out for yourself and make a commitment to yourself that you're going to implement some of the things that you learned today, even if you don't implement all of it, which is not what I am expecting everyone to do. All right, thank you. That's it.